Hey guys, quick question. What are those?
They are my Crocs.
Exactly, thank you Grandma. Sunflowers. That all happen to face the Scadutree. Do you think it's because they are actually looking at the tree, or maybe, just maybe, at something that the tree is blocking? As per usual, I was working on another video on the Twinbird. By the way, it comes out next week, please wait for it. And it was getting way too long, because my yapping knows no limits, and I get carried away. So I decided to take a part of it and make a separate video that could serve as a good introduction to whatever misinformation I'm gonna spread next week. Where was the Sun Realm? Why did Marika need the Eclipse? And what is this gate for? Watch and find out. If you want a quick answer to what inspired the gate, it is most likely Glastonbury Tor, a real place in England topped by St. Michael's Tower, the only surviving part of St. Michael's Church. Here's a curious detail. A famous well situated near the Tor is called the Chalice Well. But in my opinion, simply saying the gate in the game is a part of a ruined church is a bit too boring. The inspiration for the building's function, however, may be hidden in the plain sight. You know how there are these sun clocks everywhere in the lands between? They had me really confused for a long time, because these lands, as Melina points out in the game's intro, are covered by the fog, and the sun is, well, not visible. It is undoubtedly there as we see our shadow move as the day goes by, but it's never visible in the skies. Only rarely we see its faraway rays on the water surface, and because the lands between seemingly have no sun, I saw people speculate that the Sun Realm, mentioned on the shields of the Gravekeepers, is some other place. Well, I'm here today to argue that the Sun Realm is exactly what the lands between were in its original state. First of all, the Gravekeepers we see are a part of an ancient cultural phenomena of death rituals. When death still existed in the lands between, the Firekeepers of the graveyards would cremate those who passed away, and their souls would be guided to their final destination by the Tibia Mariners. After Marika sealed death as a natural process, those rites were no longer in demand, as nobody died a true death. However, after the Night of the Black Knives, those who live in death reappeared throughout the lands between, and the Gravekeepers were among them. Their weapons and shields are what they carried to the grave a long time ago, before the Golden Order even existed. These Gravekeepers exist both in the lands illuminated by the Earth Tree and in the lands that dwell in its shadows. In fact, from the stone tablet at the suppressing column, we learn that these shadow lands actually are the very center of the lands between, the darkened place where the sun feels all the warmer. And then there are these gates. Were they built to commemorate a battle? Were they once a portal? Or maybe they used to hold something with their arch? Well, I believe they are a sun gate or a sun portal, a structure made for astronomical observation of the sun's cycle, positioned in a specific way to be illuminated on a certain calendar day. Perhaps these lands were veiled in shadow exactly on the day the sun graced the semicircular ornament of the gate. And so the now withered sunflowers are still facing the direction where they last witnessed it. A curious detail pointed out by Hawkshaw is the difference in the architecture of the gate and the shadow keep. Seemingly belonging to the same architectural complex, these structures actually are different in details. Never on the gate we find the crest of Mesmer's crusade or his mother's one. Now, I wonder if these emblems were added later to the castle they gained during the campaign, or was the keep built under Marika's rule? I incline towards the first option, as it is a common practice in the history of the lands between. Okay guys, my delusional ass was recording this video at 4 AM and I completely forgot to elaborate on why I think the right part of the Alliance sigil is connected to Marika and the siege of the Shadow Keep that I believed occurred. In the trailer for the DLC, we see Mesmer's assault on Ballarat, which marked the Erdtree's betrayal of the Hornsent. However, his armies staged at the Shadow Keep seem to have been welcomed there, or at least almost no signs of battle are visible, and considering the circular spiral sign on some parts of the castle's interior, I believe it was originally taken from whoever dwelled there by the alliance of Queen Marika and the Hornsent. I'm saying this mostly because the Hornsent were profound researchers, and whatever they uncovered was definitely useful for Marika in her plan to seal the death that took away her loved ones. The emblem also eerily reminds me of the golden braid we can find in the shaman village, but it seems to have fallen from its circular position, perhaps indicating Marika's intention to betray her sworn comrades, with whom they stood against the ancient civilization that remembered their starfall past and worshipped the furnace, the civilization that built the gates to commemorate a certain day of the sun's cycle, but their sun was forever sealed. So what exactly happened? Please take a look at Exhibit A, Marika's emblem. It's a golden braid in the shape of a circle. Now Exhibit B, Solar Eclipse. The storied sword of Castle Sol depicts an eclipsed sun drained of color. Its skill description says, "Let the lustrous sun ablaze with the Prince of Death's flames." If the shining sun symbolizes the natural order of life, the eclipse is the symbol of Marika's order, where there is no real death. Surrender yourself to the eclipse. Grant life to the soulless bones, says the spirit. In the time of Queen Marika's rule, nobody truly died, but returned to the world through the Erdtree. Another spirit asks for Miquella's forgiveness. The sun has not been swallowed. Your comrade remains soulless. After the night of the dire plot, a part of the rune of death was stolen to murder a demigod. However, Miquella tried to help his brother. Godwyn did not die, nor was he reborn through Marika's Erdtree. An artificial lamplight illuminating the lands covered in fog. To sum it up, in my opinion, the lands between in its original state were the Sun Realm. There are many hints that the ancient astrologers were aware of the sun's movements. The suppressing column in the very center of the lands between was most likely a gnomon, the part of a sundial that casts a shadow. In the real cultures of our world, it could have been an obelisk or a column as well. Hey guys, it's editing me here again, and now that I thought about it, I kinda think that the gates could have been sort of like a solar clock too, if only they had a gnomon in the middle, which could it have been the tree, or maybe it's just my fantasy, I don't know, what do y'all think? Also, I find it funny, gnomon and Newman, yeah, bye. The gates were built for some solar celebration by the civilization that worshipped the furnace, and that explains the flame symbolism, and perhaps the reason Marika detested it. When Queen Marika sealed the destined death and established the Golden Order, she veiled the lands in fog, making her Erdtree the sole source of golden grace. This event became known as the Eclipse. Ranni and Rykard, children of the Lunar Queen, sabotaged Marika's order, and so the Golden Scion became the Prince of Death. The wizened shadow sunflower is forever frozen, gazing at the direction where it last saw the sun. Meanwhile, at the other side of the veil, the tarnished sunflower still adores the Erdtree as if it ever gave it the true guidance of grace. Thank you for watching today's video, guys. I'm glad I could reorganize my thoughts, and I hope some of these ideas could resonate with you. Let me know what your thoughts are. And please await my new video about the Twinbird next week. For now, I must say goodbye, but I hope to see you again in my next video.